Standing here before you all brings back a lot of memories. Believe it or not, I sat in you all seats many years ago. I too served as a medical assistant, but I started out in the military. And when I did my training in the military, I was taught principles that I'm sure your president will touch on a little later, he too being an ex-military soldier. Now the deal is, the main thing that the military teaches is to always exhibit pride and purpose in your job. Can I get a whoa? So, after I finished my time in the military, I returned back to Jackson, Mississippi to attend college and work as a medical assistant. And I got my first job at the Baptist Hospital on State Street. I remember the first day, I was driving to my first day of work. I was so excited, I was listening to my music, I was like hype, Anyway, so I get there and I have my white scrub suit on. It's tight, it's pressed. And I report to the head nurse. I say, "Ma'am, Private Quinn reports for duty." She was like, "What's wrong with this guy?" But I was excited, I was going to be a part of this healthcare team to save the lives of all the citizens of Jackson, Mississippi and surrounding cities of Mississippi. And, I was just really excited. I was a young soldier. But the problem was, over the first few weeks, my enthusiasm started to diminish. It seemed that I was not getting a lot of praise and accolades, and I just started to question, does my job really matter? I mean, I did all the duties of the medical assistant that I was assigned. I would deliver the trays, I would do the vital signs, I would, help with the nurses and just help with patient care. But I just started to question, does my job really matter? Well, the deal is, my question was answered on one specific day. And it involved a patient named Mrs. Jones. Now, Mrs. Jones was from the Delta, and she had only been to Jackson once before. And basically, I'd go in the room and deliver her breakfast, and she'd have me to sit down, and she'd just talk. And, she was a big talker. But I noticed when the nurses and the doctors came into the room, she got real quiet. She would, yes sir, no sir. And that was it. And then as soon as they leave out, talk. And I'm like, wow, this is, she's got so much to say to me. Well, one particular day, she told me something that was very important. She said, "Tim, I ain't been taking my medicine." And I was like, "Why, Miss Jones?" And she further explained, she said, "Tim, I'm just a country woman from the Delta, and these big-time nurses and doctors and administrators, they don't care about somebody like me. They're probably just giving me sugar pills, and, this medicine is dangerous." I said, Miss Jones, I pleaded with her. I said, "Miss Jones, that's not good." I said, "You need to take your medicine, but more importantly, you need to let me tell them what's going on." After much pleading and, pretty much talking with her about it, she said, "I suppose that'll be okay." So I went straight to the nursing station, and I told the head nurse that, Miss Jones, she confided in me that she's not taking her medicine, and every time she gets a pill, she'll put it underneath her tongue, and then she'll throw it in the toilet when no one's looking. The nurse called the doctor right away, and she let him know, what was going on the telephone. So I went about my day, and maybe about 30 minutes later, I see the doctor coming down the hall. And, this doctor had never spoken to me before. I didn't even know if he knew I worked there. He came straight to me, and he said, "Come with me, son." I said, "Me?" "Yes, sir." So he started walking down the hall, and I followed him. And basically, we got to the end of the hall, and there was a supply closet. And he said that he wanted me to come into the closet with him. So I came in, and the door shut, and oh, my stomach was hurt. I mean, I had a flashback, I'm sorry. But that was a very intimidating time for me. You know, I'm just a little medical assistant, and this is the big doctor, and we're in this supply closet. I mean, what is this man gonna tell me? And he looked me directly in the eyes, and he said, son, you saved my butt. And I was like, what do you mean? Well, yes, sir, I don't understand, sir. He explained to me that when the nurse called him about Miss Jones, they had written orders, and they were in the process of starting an IV line. And through this IV line, which is a direct passageway to her bloodstream, they were going to introduce the medicine that they had been given, or so they thought they had been given, at a higher and higher dose every day. He further explained, had she have received this medicine, if this order would not have been canceled, and she would have received this medicine for the first time at such a high dose, there's a high likelihood that it would have killed her. He looked me in the eyes and he said, son, you are the eyes and the ears of the healthcare team. So, for my Delta Tech graduates, the awesome class of 2019, I want you to understand that had I have not exhibited the pride and purpose that was instilled in me in the military in my job description, we might not have a Miss Jones today. So, what I want you to do as you go into your occupations, I want you to remember Miss Jones. Now, when I call your profession, I want you to stand on your feet. And I want you to remain standing until everyone has been called. For start, I want my dental assistants, like in the military, remember this? On your feet! Let's stand up. I want you to imagine exhibiting pride and purpose in your jobs, to help people, to help diagnose cavities, even in young children, so they can go to class without pain and discomfort, and they can pay attention and do well with their education. Cosmetologist, on your feet. I want you to imagine exhibiting pride and purpose in your jobs. So, like my father, who's a cosmetologist, you can minister to people and help them to get through crises and times in their life when they just need a positive voice, but also help them find their outer beauty so they can build up their confidence and be successful in their lives. Truck drivers, on your feet, remain standing. I want you to imagine exhibiting pride and purpose in your jobs. So when you're driving a 18-wheeler truck hundreds of miles through the night, through the stormy weather, potentially delivering supplies, medical supplies, to medical facilities that need these supplies to save lives. Heating and air conditioning repairmen, on your feet. I want you all to imagine exhibiting pride and purpose in your jobs. Heating and cooling facilities, such as nursing homes, keeping our senior citizens warm in the winter and cool in the summer, and in some cases, helping a senior citizen avoid having a stroke. Welders, on your feet. I want you to imagine exhibiting pride and purpose, welding structures such as bridges that span great bodies of water, so that families can travel across these safe bridges that have been welded with pride and purpose, and the bridge does not collapse and they make it to their destination safely. Lastly, the group that I'm going to talk about, we've hired 2 from this class to work at Quinn Healthcare, my facility. I'm not going to embarrass them like I said I was. Medical assistants, on your feet. I want you all to imagine exhibiting pride and purpose in your jobs, to be the eyes and the ears of the healthcare team to save lives of people such as Ms. Jones. Delta Tech, I salute you. And I pray that you all will continue to exhibit pride and purpose in your job descriptions to make our community a better place. Thank you very much.